You're listening to Tara Lynn's A Geek Saga podcast. This episode features audio from a previously aired live video webcast.
We are live, and it started with maybe I shouldn't scratch my ass right now. So, just saying.
From Ashley.
Of all people.
Yeah. Everyone scratches.
It's acceptable in Canada.
I'm really sad you can't see Dorothy in the background. Like she's there, y'all. She's there. Not just in spirit. If I move a little bit, there we go. Okay, so if you are watching us live, thank you for joining us for Drinkin The Hangover, our post Dragon Con 2019 webcast. I am your host, Tara, aka A Geek Saga. I can be found across social media at A Geek Saga. And yeah, Dragon Con 2019 is over and done. Not even a week ago. And yeah. So you guys want to reintroduce yourselves in case we have new viewers?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ren. I'm a cosplayer, and you can find me at Rapso Costumes everywhere.
And hi, I'm Andrew, Stats Check Podcast. I did a lot of panels at Dragon Con, and Dragon Con.
I'm Ashley. I'm from a podcast of Ice and Fire. I did an anime panel and some Ice and Fire panels.
Yes, anime panels.
So quick. All right, yes, anime panels.
Yeah, we'll get there. Get there.
Yeah. Like.
All right, so just general cleanup, I guess. It's not even cleanup, really. Drinking game. Drink when any of the following happens or is mentioned. Legacy hotel rooms.
Legacy.
5
Legacy.
generations.
Generation.
Also drink if you talk about them and don't do it in the accent. The word habitrail is used.
Trail.
Yeah, an extinct or former track is mentioned, Tolkien, Buffy, etc. A specific party is mentioned, Bunny Hutch Heroes and Villains, North remembers. When there is an animal-related interruption, I'm doing good right now with that.
Tara really abused that one last time.
Yeah. You could tell by the end of it too with me. Anytime I mention Red Dead Redemption or attending professional status. Anytime Andrew mentions Florida or says, damn it, Tara. Anytime Ashley mentions Canada or immigration or makes an apologetic comment or gesture. And then for Ren, it's anytime Ren mentions how long she's been going to Dragon Con / being the con OG. And then anytime she mentions Deadpool or Disney.
Yay.
So, what happened after the last webcast? Because quite a bit did, actually.
Aside from the con.
Yeah, aside from the convention, literally hours or the day or two after we did Drinkin Con version 3.0, a whole bunch of stuff happened.
The schedule dropped, right?
Well, yeah, the schedule, obviously. Right. But also, they had made, and we actually missed this, apparently they made the announcement about switching to the new Grotix system a few hours before the webcast, but none of us saw it somehow.
Who here has already bought their 2020 ticket?
Some of us like to pay that $160. Thank you very much.
I love that people are willing to pay the penalty here. And then Tara, who's trying to run a convention, is like, why don't people early register? It's so cheap.
Yeah.
She'll wait till the last second as well. Oh, wait, no, sorry. She's an attendant professional now. I feel like that's legacy. It also deserves a southern accent.
Well, I mean, there's always a chance that I won't get it, but I'll apply as soon as the thing opens, and then they usually get back to us before the ticket prices. I want to say it's before they get raised the first time, even. So that's a plus.
So Ren, you haven't booked yet?
I haven't yet. I was actually very, very late this year. Anyway, But no, I usually wait until around Christmas.
So let me just say real quick, it's super easy. It's like bringing it into the 21st century of having tickets on your phone like every other fucking con and event and everything does. It's kind of ridiculous, this postcard system. And the fact that I had to go back to my room because I didn't have my postcard, it was ridiculous.
I didn't think you actually needed the postcard as long as you have your ID.
Oh, sorry. I forgot my ID.
Yeah, there you go.
Having to prove who you actually are. That's actually just ridiculous. You know, I am this person. Give me a ticket.
I was getting kicked out of the Sheridan for my cosplay. So.
We can talk about that in a minute.
We'll get there.
So yeah, they switched over to the GoTick system, and actually that'll kind of lead right into one of the things I wanted to talk about, you know, kind of like general at DragonCon stuff, was I did not have to go to the Sheridan, and this year, because I did not have to and did not want to because of the whole Legionnaires thing, I didn't. But I heard nothing but like terrible things about the registration lines being like, I mean, everyone I know waited at least an hour, I believe.
Yeah. I think it is that, you know, how we keep talking about Wednesday being the new Thursday, is that it's actually come through that Wednesday is the new Thursday.
Yes.
So everyone is there Thursday morning to pick up their tickets because everyone comes in Wednesday night and they're like, oh, we'll get our tickets early and then not have to wait in line. And now that's caught up to us.
And I was a smart ass. I, you know, forgot my ID, so I had to go back and come back. But I was like, okay, the line will be shorter at 2 p.m. because you have all the Wednesday gunners that are lined up in line in the beginning at 10 a.m. when it opens. That'll have processed, and like by 1 p.m., 2 p.m., it'll be a short line. Oh, no, sir. It was wrapped. It was wrapped at that point, fully wrapped.
Yeah. We got in line before they opened registration. I think it was, 10:30?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, so at that point, we were 3/4 of the way around. So we had almost done a full circle.
Think about that.
But like a couple hours later, it was doing more than a full circle.
Yeah, I was in line at 11:30, and I got into the line halfway up the hill. So it was wrapped around the Sheridan and then across the street and up the hill. But it only took me 30 minutes. So,
and what time was that?
That's faster than what we waited. And
that was at 11:30.
Maybe they had gotten it down to a better art by that time, because
maybe
fast when I was there.
I don't know.
It almost makes you want to buy on site, because like that's always the premium line, right? I mean, you just walk right up and walk right in if you're buying on
site.
You're
also paying the most money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and also you say it's the premium line, but the more people that do that because they don't want to deal with the registration lines, the more issues that's going to cause with the buy them there line. You know what I mean?
Sure, but
it's a catch-22.
We're still at the most people that it's ever been. 85K was the number this year officially, and you know they still haven't capped it. So you know they're not running out of tickets, or they're not stopping selling tickets.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of like, you know, everybody, the first thing when the registration lines were bad was everybody was saying like that they were, you know, that it had to be because of the new ticket system, but like everybody, you know, you guys including,
once we got to the front, it didn't take long.
Yeah, exactly. So
once you're in the building physically.
Yeah. So I hopefully, I mean, I don't know. And to be honest though, like they can't, there's nothing they can do to combat the Wednesday is the new Thursday thing.
Here there is registration on Wednesday.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, there's selling tickets for Thursday now.
If that's all they're doing is saying, okay, we're going to do like a limited, like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or like 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday open registration, that would process all those people and get them through.
Yeah.
You'd hope anyway.
Well, so enough of them that they put a dent in it and help a little bit on Thursday.
Yeah. All right. So going back to like other things that happened right before DragonCon, I think we'll just ignore the whole guy that died at the Hyatt.
That's happened right after.
It's not germane, and I don't want to try to tie that to DragonCon.
Yeah, it doesn't need to do that.
It's not associated.
There was also some sort of, I think, kind of minor drama about the fact that the armory wasn't there this year.
Yeah, there were some posts about it I saw online. You know, it was sort of a space thing mixed with an interest thing. I mean, I always thought it was a cool thing to do, but I can understand that it takes up space. So.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it's something you can't really judge the attendance on because people just kind of walk in, wander around, and then walk out. Like, so how do they keep track of how popular it is? If it's
You have to have a clicker dude at the door.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, that was always something that, like, even normies or whatever, first-time Dragon Con people, you know, who were kind of overwhelmed, could just kind of go there, look at stuff, see a bunch of cool stuff, and leave. And you don't really have to interact with it or really do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what they got moved down there in that spot. I mean, like, I always thought that area was kind of just where they put, like, it's not like they're putting big panels down there, right?
No.
Right. But I mean, I know they are running out of space, but that's part of the reason why they keep, you know, combining tracks and everything. But I mean, honestly, for me, it was just kind of like the people who were like, some people were sad that it wasn't there and everything. But I think that it was just a little, some of the people who run it, it was a little bit like, it was a little bit dramatic, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, it always is. So was when they merged the Tolkien track. It was the end of the world. It was the end of the world.
Yeah.
It was, and it's fine. And they've settled down. They've realized, like, it's not
We'll
going
no
away.
longer have any hobbits, but then
Right.
you still have your Hobbit dance.
All the events are there, all of them.
Yeah. I guess technically there's probably fewer Tolkien specific panels, but like,
sure.
I have to imagine that after a point, like, it gets difficult to fill an entire weekend's worth of panels for one subject. Like, maybe not Star Wars or Star Trek, but like Tolkien. Like,
well, you're not making as much content. I mean, at least Star Wars, Star Trek, they're constantly making more content. Like Tolkien, sometimes maybe.
Now it's going to start up again, isn't it?
It's gonna start up again, and that'll give them content, but you know, it varies.
Which is why the high fantasy track needs a bigger room.
Well, and now they're gonna get Wheel of Time. Now they're gonna get Witcher, so they're gonna have a lot of different properties that are
big one.
And I feel like I have to read, like, I haven't read Wheel of Time, and I feel like I kind of have to now.
I just did the audio reread, and that was mostly so I could competently.
You had the audiobook for the entire series of Wheel of Time?
Yes, I listened to all 14 audiobooks. This is how much I drive in my car, Ashley.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's my problem. I don't drive anywhere, so, I mean, I have a car.
Like, I couldn't even stand to listen to that much of an audiobook. I'd be just like, give me the damn book. I can read faster than this.
Yeah,
it's actually good, honestly. Like, if you're doing other stuff.
But see, that's my problem. Like, when I'm like, I can listen to like webcasts and stuff and podcasts, but like an actual book, like, I can't.
Button on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I do like 1.5 or 1.25, but just because you guys have ADHD doesn't mean everybody else does.
This is true. All right, so other general at Dragon Con stuff other than the registration lines.
General stuff.
I mean, honestly, the very basic stuff, like let's say checking in, super easy. I had 0 line on Wednesday. I walked right in there, got my thing. They offered me an upgrade immediately. I didn't take it, probably should have, but didn't. The staff was very responsive, you know, generally. I mean, I was happy with it. I know they said it was 85,000, but generally, honestly, overall this year didn't seem that much busier. It seemed
just on Saturday. Saturday we felt it.
The only time I ever felt that it was busy was when I was trying to get from, I want to say it was the Hyatt to the Marriott on Friday, and the bridge was like already just insanely backed up, and I was like, why is this so? It wasn't like that last year. Like, I don't think I ever got slowed down, like, to the point of, like, it took me like a few minutes just to, like, get into the bridge from the Hyatt. Doing the Dragon Con shuffle over here. But yeah, so I don't know. Like,
I noticed that a lot more this year, but then you remember, like, or I could have just walked outside.
It's my own fault.
Which was the clutch move. Which was a clutch move.
Like for me, when I was doing it, I was always moving fast. So I was like, oh, it's moving fast. I'll get in. And so you're moving fast until you get into this one corner, and it's like, bam. It's like for the next 10 minutes.
The day that I had the problems, I mean, it was like, it wasn't backed up too much into the Hyatt. It was like just to like the little, not even past the bar area, like halfway up against the bar area. And like, but it was just like the cluster of like getting into it in the first place. And then there was someone checking badges the middle of the habit trail, and I'm like,
oh, habit trail.
Oh,
also a dog behind me.
Dog and habit trail. But yes, but you know what? They were tighter with security this year. Honestly, I didn't have as much of a problem with that. I saw people that were trying to get in that didn't have badges get stopped. So like, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm not like mad about the badge checks at all. I just think it's dumb to have somebody halfway through the habit trail because it was slowing things down. Like, because the guy's trying to check in both directions, and he's like, you know, kind of going back and forth, like, and like stopping people on both sides, and that was what was causing most of the backup.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was the only time it felt like overly crowded to me. And a lot of that's small, you know, space.
I understand there were some issues with DragonCon TV.
I didn't know how to get it on my room.
And then
like Andrew, a whole section of the Hyatt didn't have it at all.
Yeah, I may have been part of that. I mean, I missed it because I love like leaving that on as like a background while I'm just in my room, like, and I'll just laugh at something because I'll make a funny reference, you know. And
then another thing was that, like, apparently anyone who works for the BBC are not allowed to be on DragonCon TV. So a lot of the biggest panels this year were not broadcast because of that.
Wait, really?
That's why none of the Doctor Who panels get on DragonCon TV.
Yeah.
But as someone who hates waiting in line and would not do that, I found it hilarious. The people who got up at 8 a.m. and sat in line for 3 hours and wrapped around the building, like, hey, if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
Now you know. Yeah.
I'm going to stand in my room.
I'm not judging those people. Yeah, if that's what they want to do for con, let them do it. I mean, they're going to stuff that I'm not going to, so it's, you know, they're keeping my stuff not busy. Go to those panels. Yeah. Go have it.
Well, they're keeping your stuff not busy. I mean, you're talking about things you want to go to. That doesn't necessarily ring true for the things that we were on, at least with the high fantasy
no, and let me just tell you right now, and we'll go there, you know, but all of my panels were packed, were full. I didn't have any that were like empty room, you know. I'm talking to 10 people, which is great. Even the ones that Tara was on, and I know that usually take them away.
I have something in the general at DragonCon thing, but I don't know if I think I want to say.
Are you gonna talk about DragonCon?
No, you know, I want to save that to the end.
Don't blow your load so early, Tara.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's just get we've already talked about some of the like little cons, like the registration lines and stuff. Let's get some things out of the way. DragonCon cons. I'm sure we each have like one or two that we want to mention. I already mentioned one of my big ones was that random badge check in the middle of the habit trail between the Hyatt and the Marriott because it was dumb. But then like also I was kind of annoyed because they were insane about badge checks on Friday, but on Saturday I like only got checked going into the Marriott. That's pretty much it. And that was only from the lobby too. There were times like I went in there, I think it was Saturday morning honestly, during the parade. I didn't get checked.
I think that this is just, you experienced a bad time because like I wasn't checked. Like this year I had less checks than I have had in the past. So I just really think it's just, the timing is.
Yeah.
You just happened to hit when they were
to be
doing.
fair, we have a mutual friend who will go unnamed, who I will not rat out, but who may be watching this cast right now. Hey, you know who you are. That may have lost his badge at one point and may have used the badge from a previous year and may have not been stopped by security. So, for whatever that's worth.
There was also that random time. What day was it? Was it Saturday? I think when they shut down all the habit trails.
Oh, I didn't experience that.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember.
Well,
I think it was Saturday.
Here's the habit
You know
trail.
what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I heard stories of people getting stuck on there and security not even letting them off.
Yeah,
That's a nightmare.
I get so claustrophobic.
In addition to the elevator,
Yeah.
the elevator. Did you guys see the elevator that got stuck in the Marriott?
Oh yeah.
Hey, talking about getting stuck in an elevator.
That's my goddamn nightmare. To be stuck in that elevator.
Thankfully, I got like stuck in an elevator, and that I was like buried in the back of an elevator at the Hilton that was like packed full, and like what it ended up being, the door was open though, So people could have
I
left.
thought you were like,
No.
stuck.
People could have left the elevator at any time, but they wouldn't. And what it was like the doors wouldn't close, and everybody's like pressing buttons and trying to figure it out. And what it was somebody's like shirt was like brushing against the sensor or something. But like we stood there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm on my way to a panel. I don't have time for this. Like by the time I got off the elevator at the bottom of the Hilton, I was like hoofing it, like running.
Yeah.
That was the
way.
panel you were super late for. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. Because I was buried in the back of an elevator and like couldn't go anywhere, and nobody would get off, or I just would have taken the stairs down, which I did have to do one time because I stood and waited at the Hilton on the 18th floor for like 10 minutes and no elevator came. To be fair, it was Monday, so I'm sure it was because everybody was leaving. But I took 18 floors of stairs down and was still 5 minutes late for that panel. It also, I didn't get badge checked at all on Sunday, not once.
On Sunday?
Yeah, on Sunday.
That's
not
interesting.
once.
I definitely did, for sure.
To be fair, that was the day that I took the habit trails that day because they weren't crowded. So like I wasn't that lobby door.
Were you wearing your badge on the outside, or do you have it in the pocket? You're saying you had it in the pocket.
What I do is I loop it around the the handle of my purse and tuck it in so that it's not going to get lost, and I can just pull it out real quick.
So could they see there's like a badge lanyard in a loop?
They can see like just maybe the lanyard type, but probably not because like my purse is like a shoulder purse, so it's like under my arm.
Because I'll say there were a couple times where it was in my pocket and I had a Marriott carpet lanyard. I feel like looking at the Marriott carpet lanyard, they're like, that's nerdy enough. All right, let it go.
Mine was just like my lanyard was a geeky area lanyard, but it was like white, and the way I had it looped, you couldn't even see what it said on it. So like when I had it tucked in my purse, so yeah, it was that the lobby doors to the Marriott, the ones where they like make you go in one way and out the other. That's the only place I got badge checked like every single time. So, including, oh my gosh, Saturday when we're trying to lug all the stuff for the Northern Members Party from the Hyatt to the Marriott for our 7:00 panel to then go from the Marriott to the Hilton later. And we're carrying like helium tanks and stuff. Like helium tanks.
Yeah,
just boxes
clearly we're there for a reason.
Yeah, and it's like they stopped us, and I'm like, I'm trying to like struggle. I'm like trying to pull my badge out of my purse with this giant helium tank box in my hands. Like it was.
I've got a bad story.
Okay.
Ashley's gonna be negative.
Yeah, well, okay. It's not technically DragonCon's fault, but it's something they should be concerned about. Is on the Monday night, get rid of your alcohol party. They closed those habit trails right at midnight.
Yes.
I had lost you guys somehow, and
because I left at midnight.
Yeah.
And I took them.
So I must have been like right behind you guys. I had gone to the washroom. You guys were taking pictures. I went to the washroom. I came back. I couldn't find anybody. I figured, oh, you guys are just ahead of me. I just have to run and catch up. Get to the habit trail. I can't get it opened. There's a security guy inside the thing, and he's just like pointing at his watch. I'm just like, okay, so they've locked it. Go downstairs. Go across the street. They've locked the doors to the Marriott. I have to walk around the entire Marriott to get back inside, and it is completely abandoned streets. There's nothing but homeless people passed out. I live in cities, okay? Like I know like the majority of homeless people are very nice, but there is a population that you don't want to get on the wrong side of. It's just a fact. And I was honestly having a panic attack because it was completely abandoned, and I was, like there's this guy passed out in his own puke, and this guy just, obviously mentally challenged, and no lights, and I'm just like freaking out because there's nobody around, and I had to walk that a couple blocks because the Marriott's a very large building. Yeah, and
it's a city block. Yeah.
I'm just really fortunate that I saw that. I just kept thinking that, I'll just turn the corner and I'll see you guys. And I'll be like, there'll be a door on this side that's open. And it's like everything was locked until I got to the front doors around the other side of the building. And I'm just like, they shouldn't do that when they know that there's so many people still there. That's not safe.
They should keep it till like 1 a.m. at least. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like I know that's not DragonCon's fault, but that's the hotel's fault, and they should not do that. And DragonCon should be concerned about their attendees having to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good point, honestly. If there's any sort of way to send them that sort of follow-up, I would. Because I guarantee you that if they said something, they would be able to get the time pushed back.
Yeah, that's a send it to Dragon Con and maybe also send it to the Hilton so they know, hey,
because the Hyatt to the
cost?
Marriott was still open, because I saw people, so I'm like, okay, I'll go into the Marriott.
I took it.
And I went in and then went through that habit trail, but the Hilton to the Marriott was closed, and the back doors were all closed.
Yeah, and honestly, that block between the Hilton and the Marriott is not good. Especially like the Marriott to Hyatt one isn't that bad because the Peachtree Center is there, but but yeah, so
that's the con.
So I had a great ending. I didn't get to say goodbye to anybody because they all left, and then
I know you guys kind of all just anyway, whatever. That's our own personal problems.
Well, no, sorry. So my
we'll come back for you.
Yes, Thunder Gun.
We're Thunder Gunning.
I'll see you never. I mean, at Ice and Fire Con.
All right. So, other cons from anybody?
Ren, do you want to do one before I do one?
Oh, I'm trying to think of one because most of mine are all like personal things.
Okay, mine is the most dispassionate because honestly, I don't have. And I'm not saying this just to be like the positive Nancy here, but like, I really don't have a major.
It would be like positive Patty, okay?
Like, whatever, Tara. Damn it, Tara. We're drinking for that because. The point of the matter is that
beer.
That's right. Open that beer. The point is that I was told by a lot of people that the Papa John's pizza was of shitty quality this year.
It was.
I'm going to echo that, even though I did not have that dank pizza this time.
It was pretty dank.
It was like, was it personal pizzas last year?
No, it was not. It was slices.
Yeah,
it was like thin. It was like thin crust, shitty pizza. Yeah, it was bad. It was like $14 the one night I had it. The one night I actually bought food for myself and didn't subsist off of fucking con sweet food and Cheez-Its, okay?
There are people that are pissed enough that like they looked into it, and apparently those people are licensees. So like it's an issue like with, contacting Papa John's and saying, yo, your licensee is like shaming your brand right now. And like it's pretty hard to do, but they're shaming your brand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason everyone's complaining about it.
Yep.
I usually buy from them a few times. Bought them once, and that was it.
Yeah, I usually did. I didn't have a con hamburger, and I didn't have a con pizza. And guess what, guys? I didn't go to the con suite even once.
Ooh. Oh. Fancy you.
Well, I thought about it, but, it's just too busy.
You don't like your rice and beans?
No, I
don't. We
had
a lot of rice and beans this year.
My beans and frank. Hey, that's full protein. That's a complete protein.
Did you guys know that I hate beans?
I will say the Hyatt food, they had like the stand that they had on their main floor. It was pretty good this year. They had like
and the drink stations, right, with the buckets of rum or whatever. Like that's new-ish.
Yeah, they've always had buckets of rum, but now they're like everywhere.
Yeah,
instead of just like one location, which is good.
I saw lots of people with the buckets of rum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't drink those because they're just too sweet. But
yeah.
I'm sure a third generation legacy.
Oh, never died. I am like 5th or 6th generation hot legacy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I still think I get 1st generation Hilton legacy by proxy, but we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going there. Oh. No, this is a family-friendly podcast, family-friendly webcast.
Yeah, sure. All right, so Red, do you have any cons?
The ones that I mostly have are like personal, like my room sort of thing. But
It was your roommates. Are your roommates scum? Is that it?
No. My roommates are great. I had to sleep on a cot.
Okay.
So one of those, I requested 2 beds and they only gave me 1.
No, we had 6 people in our room.
That is a personal problem. That is.
Yeah, I mean, it was that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's a personal problem, but I think it's kind of a general con problem when you're like, people do that still. They still cram like I don't because I
did that in my
I don't either. I have my entire palatial estate.
I owned 6 blocks of land at the Hyatt.
I even
Tracks.
I dabble in the Marriott when I feel like expanding my surfing.
Oh gosh. Okay, so but that is, I mean, honestly, that is kind of a general like convention. It's not just Dragon Con related; it's all conventions.
Yep.
Like when you cram a bunch of people into the room, like that is my one rule.
Yeah.
And like I've definitely crammed. Like what was it? San Diego Comic Con a couple of years ago. I stayed in an Airbnb with a whole bunch of people, and like when my friend asked me if I wanted to stay with them, I was like, I'm fine with that, but I need a bed. I don't care if I have to sleep with a dude. Like, I'm pretty easygoing about that stuff. Like, as long as it's somebody I know, you know, but like, I need a bed. And I don't care who's with me, as long as I know them and they don't, if it's a guy, as long as I know them, a girl, any girl is fine, as long as they don't snore. Like, but yeah, like, and I got a bed space, but I mean, yeah, we had several people in that room sleeping on the floor. Like, I can't do that shit.
Well, like I have.
I'm beyond that. I'm beyond the floor thing.
I mean, honestly, I have like a herniated disc. No fucking way could I sleep on the floor. I would not last one night.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I do the pullout situation was Colossal Con. After that, it ain't happening.
Oh yeah, the first night I was at Dragon Con. I actually got there Tuesday night, and I stayed on a pull-out couch at the Marriott, and my friends, like, they had a junior suite, and I woke up the next morning and everything hurt. And it took me like 2 days of sleeping in like a normal bed, like to get over that a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was totally grateful for the place, like the free place to stay with my friends on Tuesday night, but like, that was a rough start to my week.
Can I add Hurricane Dorian as my con?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean the Forever Con. Like, I mean, we have one more Floridian that like took a day later than me, but I literally have my boss writing. We have so much shit to do. Yes, office is closed on Tuesday, but also, so of course I'm like renting a car and booking it back on Tuesday just so I can get to the office and do work on that day. So yeah,
I had to come back down on Monday just so I could get back to work, because our work doesn't close that often.
No, it doesn't. It did one. I know where you work. It did once when I worked there. It's a place in Orlando that a lot of people.
A place that rarely closes in Orlando. What could that possibly be?
I don't know.
It's a secret. I won't rat you out.
All right. So, okay, I think we've all got Dragon Con cons out of the way. So how about some pros? Who wants to go first?
Oh, I have like 5 billion pros.
All right, well, I might as well get started then.
Yeah,
Andrew.
I'm going to drop my load right here. Okay, so all the panels went great. Anime panels. Thank you, Ashley. You're this direction. Thank you, Ashley. You were a good asset to our shipping panel. That was fucking great. We're definitely going to do that again. We got big props from the anime panel. They asked some of the guys run Momo, and they've asked like me and Joe to come back and do panels for them. We're definitely going to do that.
It's like the same time as Anime North. I'll be just like, I'm doing the same panel, competition time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, like live stream, like, oh, my panel has double your people. Ashley. Could it be because you're in feeble Canada?
Even though Anime North might have 3 times the size of MomoCon.
Oh. Well, I'm a second generation MomoCon, so.
Oh, God.
I'm like 11th generation Anime North. It's like down the block from me.
Right. Like, I just stay at home. I'm a legacy home.
And we just all sidelined that.
Yeah. So our party went great. North Remembers went great. I mean, you know, some people could complain we had a cash bar. I mean, that's fine. You have to have a cash bar set up. Other
people
big.
Wait. What?
Well, sorry.
Wait, did they want free drinks?
No, they wanted credit cards.
Oh, okay.
Which I get it. Everybody doesn't carry cash. I get it. I'm a cash guy.
I get that, but that's all. I've never been to a Dragon Con party where they had all the cash bars are only cash.
And let me tell you another clutch thing.
At least the ones I've been to.
Fucking Trader Vic's. I had never gone there before. They have a goddamn cash bar that had 0 line. I went there repeatedly to buy drinks right before my anime panels. Super clutch. Took like 2 minutes in and out. Like pay them, get my Mai Tai.
Also, their drinks are strong.
Yes.
Because like that's how I've been Wednesday wasted the past 2 years.
Yes. And I'm here for it. Like at Dragon Con, I am here for efficiency. So
Some people are here for David Tennant. Some of us are here for efficiency.
efficiency. The raves were good this year too. I enjoyed. I went out 3 nights to the raves, the late night parties, whatever, and like the main ballroom, and they were all good. I had fun. So, and the line was not long at all. Now, I did not get into Yule Ball. That probably is a con, but the line was a little bit longer for Yule Ball. But that could be because it's become sort of a staple.
When were you trying? Isn't that when we had a panel, Yule Ball?
No, for the beginning, that's when the kiddie part was. But I tried to go later. I abandoned everybody and went rogue.
I get it. You just left us.
I took a section of defactors, like from 2.5 Strikes, to try to go to Yule Ball. It did not work. That's why I was wearing a Slytherin tie underneath my bog shirt.
I didn't even bother trying to go to Yule Ball. I mean, I don't.
Well, you were pretty terror wasted. Plus, you were running 2.5 Strikes.
No, it was just honestly no. Like it wasn't wasted at all. I mean, I was drunk. I was definitely feeling good, but like I just didn't. I didn't like last year. I went. And I like went for like 5 minutes because it was just way too crowded. Mm-hmm. So this year I was like, I'm not even going to bother. I just want to go to my room and have my room party.
I always like the late night music there. I think like later at night the music gets better, and I don't mind crowded stuff because for me it's not as crowded. But I'm used to like crazy Miami stuff. So
anybody else other than like I went first last time, so I want other people to go like before me this time. I don't have to always be first.
Wednesday being the new Thursday, actually literally being the new Thursday was really hilarious and great. Yeah. Like they actually did the countdown. I kind of want to make a group next year for Wednesday night, like the Roaring Twenties group for the because they do the countdown. It's basically like a New Year's, so we should absolutely do like a New Year's countdown party.
Yeah, and I say we've already got the flapper attitude. I mean, we've got this done.
That was down great. With that. I have like random flapper stuff. It's good stuff that I actually like made too. But
when
if you need something, you could probably fit in one of mine. Actually,
you've done the like Dapper Days at a certain theme park that should not be named.
But could you imagine like the way they do the bunny hutch, this like crossing over to like superhero themed flapper outfits? Like that'd be great, I think.
Yeah.
And like honestly, like I've been to Wednesday nights before, and they've been getting increasingly more busy, but it's never really been like a party. It's been kind of more chill. But
and we are a big enough group that we can make it a thing.
Oh yeah,
we have enough people that we can make it a thing.
We will make it a thing.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Thursday night, I mean, like, okay, the Avengers game party was just meh. We left pretty early. It was just meh. I don't even remember. I think we just hung out in the Pulse Bar.
Yeah, that was really sad because last year the Wakanda one was so good, and like it wasn't like I get that they wanted it to be like a neon party, so like that's why it was all dark and everything, but the music was bad.
They should stay with Wakanda party. I like the Wakanda theme. Like I thought that's a good theme to have.
And it was
Avengers is just like, well, let's just go to Heroes and Villains Ball. Like there's nothing different there, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the same DJ either. Like because the guy was like switching back and forth every 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's the one where the genres changed like every 5 seconds. Like they're like, okay, now we're gonna do metal. Now we're gonna do dance. Now we're like it was crazy. It was
it's just like stick it in one thing, and you can play like. Different. You can hit for different groups, but stick on one type of music.
Yeah, it was jumping all over the place. I did not know what their target was.
It wasn't anything. It was nonsense, and they were just a bad DJ. Whoever they were.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I have no memory of Friday night. Saturday night, North remember.
Oh yeah,
I remember. I'm the same with you, Ashley. Like I can barely remember what happened Friday. I know some certain scenarios I entangle myself in, but other than that, I don't remember much.
Like I remember Keith and I had our couples cosplay that night, and we were just kind of going around. Oh, that was when we had the anime thing. The anime panel. That was awesome. The shipping.
We were both drinking during.
Yeah, that's kind of after that panel. I remember nothing.
Yes,
that's kind of our state of mind.
And it worked great for like we based the shipping on. We had a list of 86 people, and we had a random number generator, and we just paired them based on random number generation. And for doing it that way, which is crazy. It actually worked out really well.
Yeah, it worked really good. We got an idea of who people do know and who people don't know. And anyone who doesn't know Oron High School, fuck you. We're keeping Oron High School on the list.
It's like, shut up, old lady. You're telling me all your old animes. Give me new stuff.
How can you do a shipping page? I'm like, I don't know much about Oran High School. I only watched part of it.
It's only one of the biggest shoujo animes ever created. I mean,
yeah.
I know. So, yeah, that's a pro though. It's a pro that we all had good nights. Ren, you got some pros?
Yeah, Night at the Aquarium was awesome.
Okay.
If you plan on going, get a VIP ticket. It's worth it. Open bars all night. It was pretty nice. Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun this year. It actually seemed not as crowded as last year.
Really?
Yeah.
It was Saturday, right?
Yeah, it was Saturday night.
Was that because you had a VIP pass, though?
I mean, the VIP lounge is the upstairs area, so you kind of go up there, get your drink, and then walk down to the rest of everything.
Is it like the upstairs ballroom?
Yeah, that ballroom.
Okay, because I went into like a thing for Momo that's up there, which
and they put I think they put like 7 or 8 bars just around, and you just get your drink and can leave.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then I tried all of the Marriott, like the cake and the cookies and everything.
Oh yeah, how was
that?
The cake was fantastic. It was a chocolate cake with raspberry sauce.
I wouldn't be able to eat it because I'd be like, I'm tasting everyone's shoes.
Right. I'm tasting the obsession that will never die.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to just interrupt here. I don't think you can see this, baby. I don't know.
Increase your brightness, Sarah.
Well, I think it's the lighting in here. You see this cat?
Looks like
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like this counts. I just got interrupted, and I feel like this counts as an animal-related interruption because there's a strange cat on my porch.
Yes, it is.
That might now be my new cat.
That counts as an animal interruption.
It's just
because
living on my porch.
Tara.
Oh God.
Well, I got super distracted for a second. I'm like,
strikes again.
Don't let it in the house, though. Is it wanting to come in the house? It wants to come in my house.
Yeah, well, when people want to come, I don't always let them, Tara.
I mean, it's a cat. Am I really going to say no? I could use a 4th cat.
That's how we adopted our neighbor's cat. We just, he kept coming to our window. So we started just letting him in the house all the time. And then the neighbor's like, where's my cat? We're like, It's like, quick, put the cat out the back door.
Cat thief over here.
Cat thief.
Anyway, all right. So,
I will say about the aquarium. I've gone in the past. The secret is to go early or get a VIP ticket. So if you're going to do it, either go super early right at the first bus or get a VIP ticket.
I mean, I was there for the entire time. Like, I got there when it started and left. Like, they were literally kicking us out.
How much are the VIP tickets?
It was 90.
90? Okay.
It's not bad at all.
The problem is it's on the same night as the Most Remember.
It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's on the same night as that.
It doesn't include alcohol, but like you have a private bar. Oh, it does. Oh, shit, that's fucking worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said this before. If you haven't gone, you should go.
Yeah, but get the VIP ticket.
Yeah,
but I understand why, there's people who have other stuff going on, and of course, if it's and you have a commitment to it, then you have to commitment to it,
Yeah, my problem is any time I know, like for sure, whether or not my Saturday night is like quote unquote free-ish, it's always going to be after the VIP tickets sell out, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and that's like we knew about North Remembers being on Saturday night way before, like way ahead of time, months ahead of time, but like even before that, like panel schedules and stuff, like I would never know until like last minute, really, like a couple weeks before. So, any other pros from you, Ren?
Animal interruption, Rigby.
Oh, Rigby. He's very confused because like the other door to this bedroom is closed, so he keeps wandering in here. My house, you can walk in a circle if all the doors are open. So like he's very confused that this door is closed and he keeps coming in here and he's like, oh, I can't get to my water bowl from here. He also can't see right now. So he's very blind. For me, like honestly, I love that one big pro. First of all, everything with the high fantasy track, as for the
Yes, it
like,
went really well. Fucking Looney Theories, people.
Yes.
Looney
Even the
Theories.
panel I got pulled up on, I didn't have any research for, and I just kind of sat there quietly. That was still fun.
Yeah, we made Ashley horribly uncomfortable by putting her on something when she's unprepared.
yeah, that's like the worst thing you can do to the Ashley.
Yes,
because I am an
Ashley
obsessive studier.
And I'm like, show up to the panel drunk, knowing nothing, and just figure it out. I was on our Ava panel. I probably shouldn't say this. I'm sorry, Joe. But that's like, Joe, I'm really drunk, and I've forgotten everything on your slides.
Who's the redhead?
Yeah. What's the name of the blue one?
All right. So, the everything with the high fantasy track, like, I just want to give, and I say this, I've had just really great experiences with every track I've worked with the past couple of years. Like, this was my first year doing a panel with the video gaming track. I did a Red Dead panel, and like, the people, they did switch the room that we were supposed to be in at some point. And it was at some point within the last week or week and a half before Dragon Con, because like my schedule and everything had Weston Chastain EH or whatever it was. And it was like AB or something like that. So it was across the hallway. It wasn't a big deal, but like at some point it got switched. And the only way I knew is because somebody who was like a friend of mine who was on the panel with me was like, hey, by the way, it's in the other room, not this one. So that was a little annoying, but like that's not I guarantee that's not the video gaming track's fault. It's something Dragon Con like as a whole had to switch around. But the room managers, I will say is that like, as much as I love like the high fantasy track, like I think that everything they do is well organized. I love that they always have mics and they always have people to bring mics to people, because like that's never happened at like any other. Like the best I've gotten on other tracks is a mic in the middle of the aisleway, which nobody ever wants to stand up and use, or no mics at all.
Yeah, but so their mic setup is clearly superior.
But the room managers at the Weston panels are like amazing. Like they're constantly like, can we get you anything? Can we help you with anything? Can we get you drinks? Can we get you snacks? Like for both the video gaming track and the Apocalypse Rising track. And it's like, okay, like that's a big plus. Like if you guys could get some microphones for the audience so that when I turn these panel recordings into podcasts, you can actually hear the audience questions, that would be awesome. But like, other than that, like, amazing. So also I did have like a handful of people come up to me throughout the weekend, different people, and say hi to me because they saw our pre-con webcast. So that's always fun. Like always feel free to say hi to me if you're watching a webcast, like if you remember me from this webcast.
Oh yeah, that's
I had two people.
I had nobody, and my big disappointment of the weekend was because I was caught up in other stuff. I missed the photo shoot for Game of Thrones, which the only reason I put that costume on for. So I got so mad when I realized I had missed it that I just kind of like, after 2 hours of wearing the costume, like, I'm done with this. It's off. But that was the crappiest part of the weekend.
Yeah.
So like having a few people, I can't remember honestly. It was at least two, I think possibly even three people throughout the weekend that came up to me. So yeah, like I like that. Like always come up and say hi. Like I love meeting new people.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's the thing. Like with the costume, was like, oh, maybe someone will recognize me from Westeros American Musical. Look it up online. Yeah. So
well, to be fair, Westeros is.
And when I had the shirt on multiple days, I had it on 2 days, people came up and were like, oh shit, that's amazing. I love that musical. And I'm like, yes, you've seen it. And then I had other people just say, hey, that's an awesome shirt. And I go, hey, look it up on YouTube.
I did have one of those.
Yeah, I did. I was with someone. It might have been you, Ashley, who we were walking and you were, whoever it was, I think it was you, was wearing that shirt. And somebody was like, oh, nice. And I was like, they're just liking the design.
Possibly. Which I did not bring enough clothes, so I was wearing a lot of the same shirt.
Which, by the way, for anybody listening, watching, whatever, if you haven't seen Westeros, an American Musical, or seen the symbol, it's a Hamilton Game of Thrones musical, and the art that was designed by Megan D, who is Birdie D cosplay on Facebook. I can't remember her Instagram off the top of my head, but she designed the logo, which is the Hamilton star, but instead of Hamilton in the top, it's Ned on the Iron Throne. So It's really good. And it is a recognizable design. Anybody who knows Hamilton and Game of Thrones knows exactly what that is. They just may not necessarily know it's for a 2-hour long musical that we put on at Ice and Fire Con this year.
Yep.
And hour long the year before, whatever. So yeah, I mean, those are my big Dragon Con pros. Just again, everything with a high fantasy track. Jennifer, who runs it, is great. She's just this wonderful person and great to work with. And she's really awesome about getting a variety of panels and like being able to separate the subjects, even when it's the same, property like Game of Thrones or whatever. We had so few problems, and I'm using that term loosely this year with like one panel subject kind of leaking into the other. It was just, thank you so much, Jennifer, for doing such a great job with the high fantasy track.
And she was so trusting, and I appreciate that trust because, like, she gave a lot of discretion for us. Like when I had to sub out, it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna pull an Ice and Fire Con person, or hey, Ashley, you're gonna come up, or like we're gonna recruit one more person. And she trusts us to do that. And then in the end, the product is great because we're able to make those substitutions if we need to make them.
Yeah. Oh shoot. I mean, we had unfortunately one of our Chloe, who's been on Looney Theories the past 2 years, was like beyond Concred sick Sunday night and she couldn't even get out of bed.
She didn't come to the party afterwards.
She
saw her.
She could not get out of bed to make it anywhere. And she let me know like about an hour and a half before the Looney Theories panel, and I just walked along the line until I found Aziz from History of Westeros, and I was like, "Hey, want to do this with us?" And he was amazing. Like it was so
dude, he did so good. Like I'm gonna force him. We're gonna conscript Aziz to do more. Sorry, Aziz.
We love you, Aziz.
I'm gonna pull you on the more panels.
Yeah, for real.
Just the ones where we're drinking, though.
No, because we don't want him to actually show us up, which he will do on his sober panels.
So any more pros? And one of the things
lots of pros,
yeah,
there's so many.
Well, and also there's one of the things that I had separate last year, and I think we were able to separate it, but it might be a little harder, at least for me this year, is memorable moments.
There's a lot of them. I mean, my good panels, Live Fantasy Track, North Remembers, counting down on Wednesday. We mentioned that. That was super cool. I mean, I had lots of feels when that happened. There's so many moments. Oh, me seeing T-Pain in retrospect.
Yeah. Oh, you saw him?
Afterwards? Yeah, he was in the tunnel between the Hyatt and the Marriott, and he was walking towards the Hyatt as I was walking towards the Marriott. And after I saw the Instagram post from my friend, I'm like, I just passed him. I just passed him.
Yeah, I saw that Instagram post. I definitely saw his daughter dressed as Dutch Vanderlyn.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing her and being like, that outfit is like, that looks kind of familiar, but like didn't like think much of it because she wasn't wearing the hat, which is like very characteristic of this video game character. Since Andrew is copping out of saying the other word, I'm copping out of naming the video game.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? It's Saturday night, y'all.
I got American football to watch. Ashley, take notes.
But yeah. So I definitely saw her, but it was like kind of a like in passing sort of thing. So that was kind of cool, like you said, in retrospect, to be like, oh yeah, I saw T-Pain and his daughter. I don't know though, like one memorable moment, like one thing that actually stuck out to you above all. Like I have to think about mine for a second.
I have two.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah. First of all, the friggin' Planet Smoothie Girls on Saturday were amazing, and realized that was the third time I had been by there because all I can eat while I'm in body paint are smoothies. And on Saturday, they like freaked out, took pictures of my costume, and then gave me a free one.
Oh, what were you dressed as?
Yeah, I was in Molly Mock from Critical Role. So I was very purple with a very, very heavy coat and swords and horns on my head and ridiculousness. But yeah, they were super sweet. It was so nice. And then my other one was Friday. I went to go and meet Catherine Tate because I was wearing super niche costume from when she was in Much Ado About Nothing. And I walked up to her and she flipped her shit and took her own phone out and took pictures of me.
Nice.
And took selfies with me. And it was
That's
so
cool.
sweet. Yeah. It was just a really good moment. And so, yeah, I don't normally do like celebrity meet and greets. So that was the one. I haven't done one in a couple years. So it was good to have that kind of experience for a moment.
Yeah,
Cool.
I really wish I had a lot of disposable income because I wanted to get Robert Englund's signature because on my old Fan of the Opera VHS, because he did one of those. There's like an 89 version of Phantom of the Opera that he was in, and it's actually a really good version if you're a Phantom of the Opera nerd. So I was like, I want to get that signed, but at the same time, I don't want to spend $90 for a signature.
Yeah. I have a laser disc of Nightmare on Elm Street, and I wanted to bring it to get him to sign, but I had already put away money for David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Oh, you did? Oh, well, David, you'd pay ahead of time, so you wouldn't have to wait in a huge line, right?
Yeah. But it was still,
Wait, was that a thing that if you paid ahead of time, you didn't have to wait in a line?
There was still a line, but you got like a
timing block.
Yeah, you had a little block of time when you could go and meet him, and it was a slightly shorter line, but it was still like an hour.
It's like a meet and greet? Like you get to actually like shake his hand? Like
yeah, he's just sitting at a table in a separate room away from Hall of Fame.
Cool.
And he was nice. So
maybe it's a former armory.
I know it was the room that they used to have like the separated photo ops when like Shatner came the first time or the last time that he came.
Yeah, I've seen that they've had like that separate Hall of Fame place for like the big people.
The ultra.
Yeah. So it was a thing. You didn't get to like take a picture with him or anything, but it was
that was extra.
Yeah,
you have to like.
yeah, but so I had some cool moments.
I think just to get mine out of the way, mine is probably when I was in my Sadie Adler from Red Dead costume on Friday. Drink, y'all. This guy from it's called 04, like ZeroFour, all spelled out, Studios, took this really cool 360 video of me and my buddy who was dressed as John Marston and these two guys. One of them I know only from Facebook, who was dressed as Arthur, who's like the main character in the new game, and then the other one dressed as Dutch Vanderlyn, who I just met at Dragon Con. Like, it's like the four of us having like a Mexican standoff, like out by the Hilton steps. And it's just this like really amazing video. And like when he pulled us aside and asked us to do it, it was just like, yeah, sure, I guess I'll do this. But then like he choreographed the whole thing, and he like really went out of his way. And he's like, and then like I'll send you the like, he's going to send us each like the video, and like all he wants us to do is give him credit for it when we share it or whatever. And it was just really like, and it was like he just posted the final product today, and it looks fucking amazing. And it's like, that's one of those things. It's like, you might get pictures of your cousin, but you might not get anything super cool like that. And like, I can't wait to download that video and put it to some Red Dead music and share it all over the place.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, my Friday night costume, like Keith and I were married. We just moved into this house. I like moved in like 2 days before Dragon Con. And like I knew I would not have time to like sew a new costume or anything. So we threw together this Love, Death, and Robots, the Witness costume, because it's basically just a robe. And like one of the things that's so awesome about my husband is that I can trust him to be like, hey, can you do this character? And he will actually get that shit done. Unlike previous people I've been out with who I have to make everything for. I still have to like focus it into my brain that's like, yes, I can trust him to actually do this. And he will actually make it look awesome. And he totally did. And we nailed it. And we got like so much good response from people. And like we got so many photos.
It was amazing. It looked amazing.
Like it's a makeup heavy costume, right? So that's why I did it, like because I wouldn't have to sew so much because I had no time, and
no time before the con.
The break is kicking in now, so I apologize for my stutter.
Oh, Ashley's apologizing. Canada's coming out.
But yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was really great because I thought I'd have no new costumes. I'm like, you know what? I really love this series. It's really easy to make because all I have to do is order that robe on Amazon. I have a wig that I can style in that way, and then it's just makeup. And I think Keith could probably handle it with Amazon Prime, and we nailed it. And we really did.
It was good. It was good.
It was good. So that was good times.
All right,
It just goes
Andrew.
to prove you can do anything on a budget in 1 week.
Mhm.
Yep. If you have Amazon Prime.
If you have Prime.
If you have Prime, and you can still get it shipped to the hotels, which is like
That's
True.
clutch plus. No, I mean, look, I had a lot of memorable moments. I already spoke about it. I mean, one of my favorite things, it always is my favorite things, is when I get all my friends, including my friends who are antisocial and necessarily don't want to hop on a cast. When I get them up in my room and we have our private, like, live from Dragon Con podcast, which is always a fucking hoot because we're just lit. It's like post our
So
panel.
now we know where you always sneak off.
I feel like that needs to happen next year.
It's really great. It's really fun. It's fun because like it's the uncut raw, like maybe put like one basic filter in it and then go and like put it out there. And it's great because everyone's in the mood and you're like hyped up. So like you're on a high energy level. So it's one of my fun things. And then after that, going out, because that's Friday. That's either Friday or Saturday. So like we're going out afterwards. It's good times.
You know, no one's mentioned the Chuck's costume for us all.
The what?
Chuck's costume for us all for picking up.
Oh no, we have another section coming. Memorable cosplay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to come in with.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're done with memorable moments. So yeah, memorable cosplays.
So Ashley, do you want to lay them some ground and then I'll tell my story because it kind of comes out of it?
Okay, so we were like, hey, do you want to be in this cosplay? We're like, you know what, that might be in bad taste, but all right. It seems like it's going to be a legend, so we want in on this on the first floor. So Chuck, our friend, has like a printing company and can make all this cool stuff. And it's like, we're going to make a Legionnaire's Sheridan costume.
It was like Biohazard. You know what I'm
with
most
the
sad
Sheridan
about?
logo.
You know what I'm most sad about with my life? I forgot mine.
Tara!
I can't find it in any of my stuff. I think it got shoved behind the curtain in our hotel room.
No, I saw yours. It was like by the chair when we left.
Yeah, you know what though? I almost trust me, I almost forgot several things. And when I left that room, there was like stuff in there that I was like the banners from our room decorations and stuff were still laying around. I didn't have room for any of them. And I think what happened was like one of the banners might have fallen or been like thrown like on top of it. And I thought it was just the banner because I definitely don't have that stuff. Like I don't. I feel really bad. But anyway, so Biohazard Sheridan, I hear, was a blast for all of y'all who got up at the crack of fucking dawn to do it.
We did get up early, but there was like at least 10, maybe 12 of us. Like there was a good sized group of us.
Yes.
So power in numbers, because I know I would not have done that on my own.
Absolutely not. And I think that we got more oh shit in Oz because it had the logo on the front and the Biohazard gear was more in the front, but then it had Sheridan Biohazard team on the back.
Yeah.
So it was like one person could be standing pointing to that backwards, and the other people could be holding the Biohazard bag with their face shield down, facing front. Now, one person that didn't find that funny was the general manager of the Sheraton. While I was picking up my badge, he stepped over to me as I'm trying to find an ID on my phone, see if there was a photo of an ID. There wasn't. But he goes, "Hey, son," and I'm like, "Are you talking to me?" He's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Do you think that's funny?" "Yes." "I don't." "Well, we have a difference in humor, then, don't we, sir?" And he's like, "Are you staying in this hotel? I wouldn't spend one more minute than I have to in here. You can leave as soon as you're done here immediately." I'm like, "Okay, on it."
Yeah.
Kicked out of the Sheridan for cosplay. That's a win. Boom. First time achievement unlocked.
Isn't he on the phone like with Dragon Con trying to find out?
He had a Dragon Con staff member with him, and then he also had his minions, and he was radioing his minions because Ashley was, when I joined up with Ashley outside, you could see his security people were spotting us and seeing where we were and kind of following us and tracking us, ready to kind of tell us to leave their property. but they can't kick us off the sidewalk. But the staff person, and Chuck had overheard this, the staff person's like, they're not breaking any rule. It's not against the rules to taunt a host hotel. That's
And I will say, once we got into the Marriott, the staff at the Marriott were killing themselves. They came around us. There were like 3 of the Marriott staff that came on and took photos with us, and they were just like, "This is great." And we're like, "Yeah, you guys have a sense of humor."
Yeah, and you don't have Legionnaires in your hotel. Like,
that might have something to do with
like the Westin also isn't attached to the 3 big host hotels, but everybody knows that the Sheraton is the redheaded stepchild of the host hotel.
For sure.
Like everybody knows.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did they? And actually, somebody was asking me this last night. Did they have, like, I know that the Stranger Things prom was in the Sheraton, but did they have panels there this year?
They're supposed to.
They have
I think it's extract.
Well, yeah, they
usually
usually do, but I feel like someone was saying
the
they
young
thought,
adult ones.
Okay, because someone was saying that they thought everything had been like shuffled around and that maybe there was like a lot less stuff actually going on at the Sheraton because they'd already shuffled it and didn't want to like change it back or something. And I was like, I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't know. All the steampunk ones were still at the Sheraton. I know that because I was so pissed when it got moved to the Sheraton. I'm like, well, goodbye forever, steampunk.
Yeah, never again. Never again.
Goodbye forever.
Yeah.
Yep. So was that y'all's memorable like your personal memorable cosplay? What we usually do is
our Sunday group. I mean, that's personal, but I mean, we had our Always Sunny.
Yeah, and that was huge. That's one we've been thinking about for years, and we finally did It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who got pregnant, and we were just as drunk as the It's Always Sunny characters by then.
I wasn't.
Okay, well, that's your personal problem, Tara.
I hadn't had a single drink that day. I was.
Not at all. Those marks were just randomly.
No. Or like when we were in Who Got Pregnant, I hadn't had a single drink. Like at some point I was like, maybe I'll go get like a Bloody Mary or something. Like I wasn't necessarily super hungover or whatever, but I just like I knew like we were going late that night, and I knew I was gonna have to count my drinks. So I didn't want to push it early in the day.
You didn't want to eat some rum and cokes before you.
Well, and on top of that, I was also on a 1:00 panel at the Westin, so I had to get from. I slept in, and then I had to get from like the Hilton to the Westin. Then I had to go from the Westin to the Hyatt and get into Who Got Pregnant to go to a 4:00 panel that I was on. So it was a lot. Like I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
What we usually do with the memorable cosplays is like, what's your most memorable cosplay, and then what's like a memorable 1 or 2 that you saw like at the convention. So like for me, like most memorable in terms of the amount of like props I got for it, absolutely my Sadie, because this is the first time in a long time I've put a fuck ton of work, time, money into a costume. Like I'm also doing like her bounty hunter outfit, which is from the end of the game. You know, it's a lot, and it's not the most comfortable thing to wear. It's this very at one point I sat down to eat lunch and I just took everything off, and my like shirt was just soaked in sweat, and I don't usually sweat that much, but I guess when you're wearing like a long sleeve shirt and then a vest over it and then like a duster coat, you might sweat a little. But that was my most memorable in terms of like just the amount of props I got for how good the costume was. Cause honestly, I everything on that, you have no idea. Like my buddy Dean and I, like he helped me a fuck ton with like going into the game and like taking screenshots for like high res screenshots for me and stuff to get like the button like size and color and placement just right on everything. Like this so much work into this costume, and like it's makeup heavy, and that it's the only costume I was very specific with my makeup on, like to make sure it looked like she does in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I was really happy with how that turned out. I'd worn it before, but I made like several like upgrades and made it a lot more screen accurate for Dragon Con. So, also the Who Got Pregnant group I wanted to do this group, and it didn't even have to be every single named character, but like it would have been cool to have like the main named characters at least. And I wanted to do it back in 2014, and everybody wanted to do Nightman, so I was like the only one that was technically wearing like we had a big It's Always Sunny group, but it was like a few Nightman people, but no Princess Waitress, because I was Dee from Who Got Dee Pregnant instead. So this year was like, I finally was able to coerce all of my friends. Not all of my friends, but a very large number of my friends, like 12 of
Good
us,
number.
into doing literally every named character from that episode. And we only were all together for like a couple hours.
Not even like we were.
It was like an hour and a half.
It was like an hour and a half, max 2 hours.
Yeah. But we got our pictures with Brian Humphrey. We were in Pulse Bar for a while. We were off to the side of Pulse Bar for a while. We were at the Hyatt for a while. We got so many pictures.
Orlando Fashion Police.
Orlando Fashion Police.
Yeah. Did you say Orlando Fashion Police?
Yes, Orlando Fashion Police.
But even after we split up and it was just me and Keith together, me as the Peacock, him as Luigi, I was like, hey, are you Dee? I'm like, no, I'm not. However, let me tell you about this group that we had. Because they realized
But technically you are Dee because she does put that costume on.
But some guy recognized me and Keith from that episode. I'm just like,
Yeah. So as a whole, I was super, super happy with how the group turned out. And I just I've said it a million times in our private chat for the cosplay group, but I'm just so grateful that my friends really banded together to make that happen.
And we have this one friend, Charlie, who has the thin bone structure and just came in right at the last minute to be Margaret, and she just has that really
blew it out of the water,
she looks like her, but not creepy like her, but the body type. And
we had full McCoyle clan.
You guys were nailing it. Any photo with the McPoyles just looks amazing.
We're just so dead inside.
So yeah, that was great. Memorable cosplays that I saw. I mean, honestly, this one's hard for me. There was a Sansa at the North Remembers party who had, it was a ball gown.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
that's my
armor ball gown.
The metal version.
Yeah, that was really cool. The little Lyanna Stark that we gave a Judge's Choice Award for the cosplay contest too at North Remembers party was really cool. I did see oh gosh, what was it? Thanos, this giant. I'm sure I've already seen it in a couple Dragon Con videos. It was giant Thanos build. This guy, he must be a tall guy and also wearing lifts. Standing up, he was 8 feet tall in this costume. That was really cool. And honestly, I really, really loved all the Scoops Ahoy cosplayers living their best lives. There were
I was okay with it. I was okay.
It was the opposite of Deadpool. It was the opposite of Deadpool.
It was Deadpool's adorable little cousin.
It's there's so many of them, but they're all you never see more than a couple of them together, and but you'll go to the Marriott and there'll be 2 in the Pulse Bar, and then you'll go to the Hilton, there'll be 2 in the lobby, and then you'll go to a party and there'll be 1 at the party. But they're all living their best lives and they're having fun in these comfy, cute costumes, and I just loved all of them.
And you just wanted to be in that costume because it was more comfortable.
It's comfortable. That it's comfortable.
Yes, yeah. So that's I think those are my most memorable cosplays.
I did see randomly while walking through a habit trail, I would have tried to get his picture because I felt really bad because I'm no one's going to recognize you, but I recognize you. He was doing the co-ed killer from Mindhunter, and that's so obscure, but
oh god,
it's such a very if you see him and you've watched that show, you'd recognize him immediately. He was dressed in the prison garb and with the cuffs and everything. And I could tell that no one was recognizing him, and I wanted to say something, but it was a have a trail moment. I'm sorry, Frank. And I've been listening to a lot of My Favorite Murder, so I was props to you, guys.
Yeah.
You dared to go there. You saw that you looked like him, and you just went with it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. I think some of the best cosplays, it's well, I look like this guy, so I'm just fucking doing it right now.
And then I didn't see it personally. I saw it in a friend's photos. Was Devilman Crybaby, and it looked really awesome in their photo. So I wish I had saw them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the big ones I saw and I was there for, and I'm glad because 2 of my friends were part of this thing, was my friend Kat, who did Brienne, and a new friend, and then my friend Matt, who did Tormund, was part of that sort of viral 5 Tormunds looking at Brienne. So the fact that I was there and I saw the video.
Oh, you saw it happen?
Yeah, I was there when it happened, and I was doing my bay, and
that photo shoot that I missed because of stupid stuff. And
it was fun, and the fact that 2 people I knew were like part of it, like made it really cool. And Matt's such a good guy, unless he's on in the audience of one of our panels. Fuck
He
you,
has
Matt.
notes.
Taking notes.
I have notes.
Us.
You're wrong. But yeah, no, that was a good moment for me.
Yeah.
Because I want my friends' cosplays to be recognized.
Yeah, cool.
And when I'm cosplaying, I don't really give a shit whether anybody else recognizes it, but I know for my friends,
I want to live vicariously through all my people.
Right. Yeah. When they want it, I want them to have it. I'm just there to have a good time and get drunk. Like,
yep.
It's a bonus if people recognize me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Oh, one other really cool costume I saw was I was like an idiot today, and I was like, oh, these people are blocking me from the elevator that I need to go to, and I didn't want to take my phone out. But then I realized after the fact, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I should have taken a photo. Was like there was an entire Top Gun group that were just in
were amazing
airplanes, and they were blasting the Top Gun music, and they had a person at the front of their line with the light sticks, like directing them, and everybody in a lineup was with their like almost like go-karts, but like around their waists, Top Gun things. And it took forever. I was so pissed off. I couldn't get to my elevator.
That's awesome, though.
And it was like, honestly, like after the fact, I'm like, you know what? That was pretty amazing. If I wasn't so pissed about the elevator, I should have taken a photo.
They also had someone following behind them for a little bit that had the volleyball net with the volleyball.
Oh,
yeah. Grease it up, baby.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Like only at
Hashtag only at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Let me think. Most memorable for me, we left the convention for a little bit, and we went to the Botanical Gardens in Alice in Wonderland, because the Botanical Gardens have an entire Alice in Wonderland setup now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's an amazing photo that we got that I've kind of already posted up everywhere. And
so which Alice in Wonderland were you doing?
We did cartoon.
So like OG.
Yeah, OG.
Okay.
Yeah, not Murdery Alice.
Yeah, not like Tim Burton or the Murder Alice.
No.
That's what we would do, Ashley.
The photo that we have has the Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat kind of peeking out of the sides, and me as Alice bowing to the Queen in the middle, and it's got like a chessboard behind us that's all made out of flowers. It's really, really cool.
That's cool. I'll have to find that on your. I'm sure it's on your Instagram or something.
Yeah,
I still like I still can't keep up with everybody's posts like on Instagram and Facebook. Like I've been. Yeah.
This weekend was supposed to be my weekend to find photos, like just to find them.
Right. Yeah.
I look at my photos and it's just like a bunch of blurry people in white t-shirts.
And sometimes just the floor, and sometimes there's a 2-minute long video of nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dragon
Con.
Also, as a memorable, I kind of saw her in it this year, but on the front of the quick start guide was my friend Jen in her jellyfish costume.
Cool.
Yeah. So I kind of ran into her at the aquarium and was like, yay! So.
Yeah, I was finally like looking through the booklets. It must have been the quick start guide. It might have been the main program that had like pictures in it, but like I saw like 5 or 6 of my friends like spread throughout the pages, and I was like, oh, I know these people. So cool.
Yeah.
Small world.
So, yeah.
So before we move on to our last Dragon Con 2019 topic, any other memorable cosplays?
There's a lot of them. I mean, it's always in the moment. It's always stuff that's like timely. I'll say one thing. I'll say some surprises, right? Did not see as many Area 51 cosplays as I thought there were going to be.
Yeah.
I'll put that out there.
I don't think I saw any.
Yeah, no, that was very light. And honestly, there were not as many Thorbowskis. There were a good number of them, but not as many as I thought there were going to be.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I saw at least one every day.
Yeah. I saw one every day.
Like 2 or 3.
I just thought they'd be competing with Scoops Ahoy, but they were not.
That's right. They were not on that level. Scoops Ahoy was way above them.
I did see on Sunday, I did see a Captain America on a motorcycle with Thor's hammer driving down the street.
That's
Right.
And he was just like raising the hammer up in the air.
If
It was
there
pretty
is not a T-Rex Scoops Ahoy next year, Dragon Con has failed.
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah.
not
I'm sure the T-Rex group is on it. They have like
Yeah.
300 members on it.
good. Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm less worried about if there's a T-Rex Scoops Ahoy than, and we're just gonna go into this now, if there's a T-Rex Dragon Con John.
Yes.
Yeah, FedEx
This is
Dawn.
memorable. This is the time, Tara.
This is it. This is the memorable.
As you have
like,
your ostrich behind you that's like decked out from the leftover alcohol party.
Yeah, the alcohol dump party. There's an for anybody listening to this as a podcast. There's a wrong shoulder. There's an ostrich behind me that it was part of our It's Always Sunny group, and also part of like our room decorations because our room is themed every year. Last year being Zelda, this year it was It's Always Sunny, and like I brought it to the alcohol dump party thinking like I would trash it, but all the like throughout the weekend, all that the stuff was happening with the Dragon Con John, the FedEx, John stand up in the Marriott habit trail that goes to the food court, and like it got so progressively crazy throughout the weekend, and then it became a thing when he went missing, and like they started like a shrine to him and everything. So like I brought this ostrich to the alcohol dump party just thinking we're gonna like get this ostrich like we're gonna trash this thing, right? Like it's just we're gonna bring it with us, it's gonna be funny. And then people started like asking if they could write on it because we had Sharpies still from like our party, and I was like, I don't know, do whatever you want. And so it just became a thing. So apparently writing
but also Letterkenny is apparently a thing now.
Yes,
Yes.
Letterkenny's amazing. We're
allegedly
doing
got
a
told to us
Letterkenny
a long
cosplay in
time.
the future.
Just like allegedly. I'm like,
Allegedly fucked an ostrich.
I guess.
It would take 2 or 3 men, but allegedly.
It would have to be a sick ostrich.
Yeah. Or a dead ostrich.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, actually, this is
Yeah,
this is still on my shirt when I from the alcohol party. There was a guy.
Yeah.
There's one on the ostrich too, along with several other Letterkenny stickers. But yeah. So anyway, Dragon Con John is a thing to the point where there are several.
I don't know. Does anything need to be said more? Because I mean, like anyone who's following Dragon Con is probably already sick of him. But all praise John.
Excuse you, sick of him? By his googly eye.
Yeah, that's like Tara with her hate for Marriott carpet. It's so negative.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been years with the Marriott carpet. I'm over it. But like,
you blasphemer! You Eve, little faith! It shall return in its glory.
I mean, but here's the thing. What I wanted to say was like, it's like, and people were talking about like the Holy Trinity, like the Marriott carpet trashy and now Dragon Con John. They all came from the Marriott, and like it was really funny like seeing the progression throughout the weekend of like when I saw it on Friday, I think it had googly eyes.
Yes.
But like that's it. And then it was
the vampire blood. The vampire blood.
Yeah, and then there were stickers, and then there were people leaving other things, and I do get there was some kind of contention around like when there was the shrine and people were leaving stuff. Because I'll be honest, yeah, when I saw the shrine, it was like literal like boxes of trash, and I was like, nope, this is just trash. But okay, but yeah, it actually, also, earlier, I want to say it was like earlier today, the guy who is the model, like I'm talking like this was 2 hours ago. It was like right before we started this webcast. His name is Eric Troy, and he made a post in the Cult of John group.
Yeah, they found him. Of course they found him.
Oh yeah, of course we found him. Like it was only a matter of time.
Poor man. Life does not know what he's coming.
But it's really cute. Like he's it's cool that he joined the group. It's cool that he like made the post. I hope people don't bother him. You know what I mean? Which I honestly don't think most. I would say I don't think most Dragon Con people would like,
Yeah.
be problematic.
But also,
But-
some people are problematic. So.
But yeah, but at the same time, like the whole thing is just what kills me is like the Marriott carpet and trashy. They were things that became things over like years. Like, and
that is true. I
and-
don't
and-
think this will live past a year, to be honest.
the Dragon Con, well, the stand up has actually been there the past couple of years, but like in the past couple of years, it was only googly eyes that were put on him. Like this is the year it became like a thing, and it is like. I mean, I think it'll live on, but next year is going to be ridiculous. Like next year with the
for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think there'll be some people cosplaying it, but I think a lot of people will be over it because honestly, it's again, like you said, the Marriott carpet is a staple because we've lived with it for so many years.
Yeah.
But this guy, it was just like a one-time thing that just kind of took off, and I was like, oh, this is cool. We're doing googly eyes this year.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's going to be like a long-lasting.
Well, and the googly eyes are a thing everywhere, every year. Like in the Hilton, Trader Vic's sign in the Hilton elevator. Like they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love googly eyes?
No, you got to be inhuman to not like googly eyes. And I just hope that FedEx has I hope that FedEx has a good sense of humor, and
that's true. They need to have a Wendy's sense of humor and market the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Yes. Just push it.
Yeah.
Push it real good.
Should go for it.
Yeah, I saw like a post. It was one of the posts in one of the groups where somebody was like, well, you know, FedEx is making money off of this, and someone was like, how is FedEx making money off of this? And they were like, have you not heard how viral marketing is? Like,
and any attention is good attention.
Yeah, exactly. And this is only positive. Like honestly, like. Yeah. They should be thrilled to pieces about it. So they'll be like 20 jobs next
at the cost of a cutout.
The con. They're like, how can we market this more? John.
The cutout is $10. It's not.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, like I feel like FedEx has to be careful with it though. Like we don't want this to turn into a Marriott carpet situation where like the corporation gets like too into it and they're like pushing it on people.
John St. John fabrics to sell.
Yes.
Although if people start marketing John stand-up cardboard things, then I could see like he'd be like.
Well, there was a post in I think it was the Cult of John group, the bigger one, where it was like, hey, so like you can't, I hope you people who are making art and stuff know that you can't use certain things in your art and then sell it. It was very like,
yeah,
we as the leaders of the Cult of John will not be using and do not condone the use of the magic words or whatever they said. And it was like, funny, but
like the Marriott carpet's one thing because it's a design, but the Cult of John is an actual model. Like you want to pay the model for his work, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't start printing stuff of
his likeness.
Image.
Yeah. That's why I think I've seen people print the stickers and the stuff that's on him. So like you can do your cosplay and just throw stickers on yourself and then you're kind of already in it. Like buy a FedEx shirt. I'm sure you can find one. Like it'll be fine.
But I don't believe it'll live long before.
I think it's got 2020 and then maybe 2021.
Yeah. I think it depends on what happens next year and whether or not they actually have another John stand up and like try to keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. That's for
next
next Dragon Con.
You know someone's going to start lighting candles and then next thing you know the Marriott's burning down. So
let's be careful with that.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Dragon Con 2020, planning for Dragon Con 2020. Hotel stuff. If your grandfather, if you are a legacy holder at the Hyatt,
a third generation legacy holder myself,
they charge your deposit on October 1st.
Oh Lordy, October 1st. So
make
so
sure your roommates are, uppermost standing individuals.
If you have roommates.
Yeah. Chances are it's going to be booked solid by Legacy. So like there's not going to be an October booking date, but there will probably be, when I say booked solid, I mean like there will probably be a block or maybe two that will book up next year.
I would like to object here. Now there are non-Legacy spots that opened up in July of August of this year.
That's what I was saying. You're interrupting me.
I will interrupt you when I want to. That is my right.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like it's like there's not going to be an October booking date. When I say it's booked solid, like for now, it's for now. There's not going to be an October booking date. There wasn't one last year, but there were blocks. There was, I think, one block. It could have been two, but I'm pretty sure it was just one that opened in July of this year, but it wasn't legacy room. So there's a chance to get a room at the Hyatt, but I think it's pretty small. And it won't happen until next summer. The Sheraton, yes, they are continuing legacy bookings despite being Marriott owned. So I'm not sure what all goes on there, or whether or not they're booked solid. I don't know. Hilton is definitely sold out.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Hilton room
last year I had some friends get it through booking with points. So if you book purely with points, they were able to get a room. Now that doesn't come with legacy status, blah blah blah, but it's
right.
a way to get it.
Yeah, it's a way to get a room, but it's not
sustainable. Yeah. It's not sustainable.
Yeah,
not sustainable. Marriott, Westin. Does anybody know about the Westin? Because like there was a lot of back and forth where people like normally it opens up like the Tuesday after DragonCon, but I was looking through like the subreddit and everything, and it was mostly people being like, "Hey, what's going on with the Westin? I don't know what's going on with the Westin. I didn't get my usual email, so I don't know."
If they go to Hunger Games, that'd be interesting. I mean,
yeah.
I'm guessing they didn't. But like also Westin is the one where there's usually like 3 or 4 times between the 2 Dragon Cons that room blocks open up. So I think that there's still a chance of getting a room at the Westin if you are literally like stalking the subreddit, stalking the DragonCon official page, you know, like the DragonCon rooms page. Like if you're literally stalking every single thing, there's a bigger chance of getting a room at the Westin than there is at any other hotel, honestly.
It's not prime real estate, but it is a place.
Yes.
Rest your head.
It's not a real plantation.
No. It doesn't have the premium parade view.
Marriott, may the odds ever be ever in your favor.
Yep.
I don't think they've announced the date.
It's second
but
week.
So yeah, it's usually the second Tuesday or Wednesday in October. So.
Yeah. It's like the election. It's pretty stable.
Oh, Marriott. Have you guys started like so like our like DragonCon next year DragonCon plans are like, hey, we have our room theme, so there's that.
You already have your room theme for next year?
Oh, you missed that? Yeah, it's Letterkenny.
Yay, Letterkenny! Yay, super soft birthday!
Yeah, specifically it is super soft birthday,
Yeah. I'm here for it.
So I'm going to be real. We're probably going to have to buy a new ostrich because I'm not sure I can like transport this one.
I think we can afford more than one ostrich.
Yeah. They're like $80 or something. They actually come from Sanford, Florida, by the way.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it was shipped from Stanford to my house in Greenville, then driven from here to Atlanta by Lauren, and then in our room. And then Becca and I somehow like shoved it in the back of her car. Like I rode the entire way home with this bitch's face in my face. Okay.
Well, you are a huge bird, Tara.
I am. I suffered for the cause.
Bird.
Damn flightless. What is it? Big giant flightless bird.
Flightless bird.
So have you guys like? I haven't even thought about cosplays for next year. I don't even know if I care. Like
well,
I really did not.
I will say I enjoy doing group cosplays with everybody, and those are some of my favorite ones. So I hope to get at least my goal is to get 2 big group cosplays for next year.
Group cosplay will be fun. I noticed that like within our group of friends, a lot of us have never cosplayed together as Naruto, but we all have like individual Naruto cosplays. So I feel like we should do.
We can do Naruto. I have a headband
because they're easy. Like it's so easy.
That's all I need.
Well,
I know I have.
I know the quiet anime people up here.
I know I have 2 groups that I'm joining for next year that were there this year, and they're both Harry Potter themed.
Ooh.
And then there's one group that I really want to make, and I'm having trouble talking people into it because it's one of my weird, macabre, odd things.
Ooh, tell us more.
So I really want to do a serial killer group.
You could definitely get people for that.
Like
Ashley just said she's in
like I've been binging.
I mean, they're all dudes,
serial
so
killer
it's hard.
So
no, but you could be a victim. You could be a victim. You're like the
true.
standard victim. You're Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Florida man. Like, I'm pretty much a serial
Oh.
killer.
I don't
You
know if I
mean,
brag
you
about
mean
that,
Craig
Ange.
Dog Man? Craig Dog Man?
Craig Man, yeah.
Granick men.
Yeah. But,
I feel like if the serial killer thing was done right, it could work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my
The thing
thing.
is, they don't have
but-
a costume, right? Like you have to have a recognizable costume.
You would all have to. One thing you might want to integrate is like give them all like maybe put them in like prison jumpsuits or something like so it's together as a group.
I was thinking of doing. It's not as recognizable, but the outfits that they were wearing in court.
Okay, yeah. That
And then give them a prop that would have something to do with it. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
You'll probably get some like hashtag not appropriates and stuff from people. Let's be honest.
Too bad. I really
You do you. You do you.
I mean, the guy who was dressed up as the co-ed killer was super recognizable to me, but at the same time, you're dressing up as a guy who, murdered and raped like 20 people. So,
yeah. Most of them.
If it's part of a group, it's fine. It's fine.
Like fictional stuff is one thing, but when you're doing real life stuff, it's like.
Yeah, people dressing up as real life people, like real life like celebrities and stuff, is a thing that bugs me. But
yeah, well, like the majority.
You don't like the Kardashian cosplay group, Tara?
I'm specifically talking about a show that I still watch but don't like anymore, but still force myself to watch so I can do another webcast about it. I've known some people who like would dress up as the actors, and like some of them kind of looked like them, and they would get a lot of attention because they look like them. But to me, that's kind of creepy. Like,
yes. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what show. I met those cosplayers.
Yeah. There's just like a level, and then there's like a level.
Yeah.
Right, and then you start living the life of that person. You're like trying to live the life, yeah. No.
And I'm not at all saying you're trying to do this. Right, all of a sudden,
am I?
But yeah, and these are celebrities too, like people who are still alive and like trying to live their lives. But anyway, yeah. I don't like the Who Got Tea Pregnant group was like the big thing that I wanted to do forever. Like I have no effing idea what I want to do next year. Like I was real lazy. Like one of my cosplay things that I was supposed to do this year didn't even happen. Like I wore it was my Expanse thing. Like I wore the jumpsuit for a couple hours on Friday, but like my friends were like too hungover or something who were supposed to do it with me, or too hungover to join me. And like then I forgot my boots in like my room, and I didn't feel like going back for them. So I was wearing my hair like on a from the Expanse, and like wearing the jumpsuit, but then wearing flip flops with it. And I did it I wore it for like 2 hours. I got one selfie. Like I took one selfie of myself in it, and that's it. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm not like the Sadie thing was big for me this year, and I'll definitely bring that back next year. But other than that, it's like, do I care? I don't know if I do.
Well, one thing we're talking about is WoW just re-released classic WoW. And we're like, oh, it'd be cool to do, classic WoW characters.
Yeah, that's OG.
That would involve like a lot of armor and LED lights, and it'd be like a challenge, like for a one-time thing. It'd be interesting to do. I'm not sure if everyone would be up to it, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, I never
it'd be rough.
WoW, so. I never played WoW, and also like I don't have armor building skills.
Yeah, no.
Like
Everyone's talking about it's like I was a WoW crack addict, and I quit. I've been WoW free for over 10 years, and now everyone's just like, "Hey, would you like this plate of crack?" I'm just like, you know what?
You don't
want to offer this to me because I will say yes because I loved it then and I love it now. Yeah. I only stopped playing because it ended up being my life, and I was getting mad at people. It's like, Ma, why are you making me come for dinner? I gotta raid it next. Like, yeah. It's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing now because my life's gonna turn into a WoW crack thing.
Well, Ashley, apologize, y'all. Sorry, not sorry.
Ashley, apologize.
So yeah, like I like cosplay. Like in past years, I've always like left Dragon Con with like some big cosplay plan for the next year, and this year I'm kind of like,
Well,
uh,
we'll see where it's at. I mean, I think it's so early to be calling cosplays. I mean, I definitely am going to do something super comfortable. Like, I mean, if we're making Letterkenny theme, then I'll probably do a Letterkenny cosplay. But that'll be
It'll be a
so
lot of flannel.
flannel and like maybe a cowboy hat, like
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, no, it'll be easy.
Actually, you know what? I do like next year. I really like. I wanted to do my Aurora as Prince Philip this year, and I didn't have time or money to make the shield. And I also might not have been sober when I did a panel in that costume last year, and I left my sword somewhere. So like,
I remember that. I remember that.
I left my sword somewhere.
Yeah.
I was not drunk, actually. I just wasn't sober. But but yeah, so like, and then for this year, like I had to fix like my boots. Like there was something wrong with the straps. They weren't like holding them. And so it was one of those things where I was like, this is the costume. Like and it was also, I was supposed to wear it Sunday. And then it turned out I had 3 panels, 2 of which were very close together. And I also had 2 other costumes that I was already going to wear that day. The 2 It's Always Sunny ones. So I was like, this is the one that has to drop. So next year, like I do want to bring that group back. And Ashley, I found your blue makeup in my cooler backpack. So like, I hope you don't need it, but if you, I have it for you next year. So like it's still in my cooler backpack. It's gonna just stay there till next year. But yeah, so I do want to bring that one back and we had like my friend Jenna was supposed to be Belle, Rachel was supposed to be Ariel, Ashley was gonna be Keita and Milo, Becca was gonna do the Snow White Prince. Is it Prince Charming? It's just Prince Charming, right?
I think it's Charming,
yeah. So like I'd love to get a few more people to join that group. It's like a very specific art set.
I have the Rapunzel from that.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Like I want to get like, because last year we had a pretty decent group. We had like 5 people, I think.
But we also had a couple hungover people who could not make the photo shoot. So
yeah, exactly.
We were kind of like, well,
despite it being at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, like
that's
okay,
too
guys,
early,
get your shit together.
Yeah.
Too early.
After having one disaster, we were like, well, I guess we can drop this one this time because we know it's just going to end up being another disaster. So
yeah. But I think next year, like like I know that if I tell people I know certain people, if I tell them to be there, they'll be there. So that's I think my big thing next year.
Like I would love to be able to use that costume because I feel like it was kind of like wasted. Yeah,
same. I agree. Yeah. So I do want to bring that one back, and I want to have like the shield and everything too, which isn't in the art. Like she doesn't have it in the art, but I feel like it just adds to.
But also, like Keita is like considered a minor princess, so people don't recognize it really unless like it'll be part of the group. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It was cute though and comfortable, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I was just wearing my skirt and tank top, pretty much, and a wig.
Yeah.
So, any other Dragon Con 2020 plans yet?
No. Made my reservation. Like I said, you got the ticket. I'm there.
Did you actually go to the Hyatt desk? They sent me like a text.
Why?
No. Well, because they were texting me all weekend. The Hyatt was
like blowing up your DMs.
The Hyatt was blowing up my DMs all weekend at Dragon Con. Like, and listen, like I have my phone on Do Not Disturb like 90% of the time, so it wasn't a big deal.
I didn't hear shit. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were blowing up. Like I joke like they're blowing up my DMs. They were like legit texting me. Like I got like at least 1 text a day, sometimes 2. And the first one I got was like, make sure you come to the desk and like make sure your credit card information for next year is all set. And I'm like, I mean, it's not changing. Do I really have to do that?
No, you don't. I was there. They're like, oh, we got all your shit. I'm like, cool. Like,
but yeah. So they were very very much like up in my DMs.
That's right.
When we ran into you at one point, what were you wearing then? When we met, I think it was Friday night. We actually all met together.
Was it Tara?
Ren.
Me?
Ren, yeah. What were you wearing Friday night?
I'm trying to remember. What was I wearing Friday night?
Well, I went to your room and got toupee tape because I normally have toupee tape with me, but I'd taken it out of my.
You had like 3 costumes a day. It was like insane.
Yeah. I didn't wear a bunch of them because I was in quite a bit of pain all weekend.
I can imagine.
But now I can't remember. Was it Friday or was it Thursday?
It might have been Thursday.
Because
Thursday is now Wednesday, so.
Thursday I was in Alice. Friday night I stayed in the room early.
It might have been Thursday. I don't really remember.
Or it might have been when I was blue on Thursday.
You might have been blue. You were blue.
Yeah, okay. I was in Jester from Critical Role.
Yeah.
Okay. When was I not there? Where was this?
In the Hyatt, like we were passing.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
She was going one way, we were going the other.
Yep. Because I was following some people.
All right. Well, I guess we're like getting down. This is actually, we're going to be under 2 hours this year. That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh, yay.
It's because there's only 4 of us. Let's be real.
And we're not airing our dirty
one hour and 45 minutes is pretty good.
Yeah.
Ashley, it's been 2 years since we aired Dirty Laundry, okay?
We're trying to keep this high class.
Yeah, in closing, upcoming events. Andrew?
Yeah, so, God, it'll be a while till I go to cons. I mean, obviously MomoCon, Ice and Fire Con. There may be some others. I'm doing some research right now. Other than that, I'll obviously be back at Dragon Con, and I'll be casting a lot. We're going to pick up the podcast schedule, so that should be exciting.
Well, we got the big one, like it's my favorite con of the year. Like it's the only one that competes with Dragon Con at the end of every year. I'm like, which was better, Dragon Con or this one? And it's TeslaCon in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a steampunk convention, and it is amazing, and I absolutely love it because like I'm the young person there. I'm no longer the old person hanging out with a bunch of anime kids. I'm the youngin'. And it's just like, the atmosphere is awesome. It's a lot of older people who know how to drink, and they're not making fools of themselves. It's just a lot of, like, we're going to go drink some in this other room. And it's just awesome. It's great times.
Someday I will make it to that. It's so hard with like my PTO.
I know it's like, it's pretty close to Dragon Con, and it's far from you guys. So.
It's not that it's close to Dragon Con. It's not till early November. It's just like in the past, I've always had like events happening that same weekend, and now it's just like I just don't have enough time. So Ren, what about you?
My next one is Holiday Matsuri down here in Orlando.
Yay! I may end up at that accidentally.
It's a good one. I like it. And then after that, I'm in talks about going to KatsuCon. I don't know if that's going to happen yet. Possibly MomoCon. I don't know. That's over my birthday weekend, so that one's always a hard one to figure out. And then after that, nothing until Dragon. So
for me, it's probably nothing until sometime next year. I might go to WonderCon. I was gonna, and then of course Ice and Fire Con is like
where's that one? Where's one?
Anaheim. And like I get if I get accepted as a pro for San Diego Comic-Con, I'm automatically accepted for WonderCon, and it's like I've never been, and it's right by Disneyland and stuff, so like it could be cool. So like that's like a 40% possibility. And then Ice and Fire Con, of course. MomoCon, if I go, it's going to be for like a night or something. And it's honestly, I probably will only bother at all if they have Red Dead voice actors again. And then San Diego is one of those, like, I don't really want to go, but like my friend wants me to go with her. So like, if I get accepted as a pro, I might go back next year, even though I don't want to. And then Dragon Con. Like, I'm really trying to cut back on my conventions because it's really cut into like the number of like the actual vacations I can take, like
right, which is what I try to think about strategically. Vacation time, because I mean for Dragon I take a lot, and it's like
same.
I'm trying to travel over New Year's and Christmas, and just around that time asking for extra PTO, like It's a lot. It pretty much bans me from traveling in October and November to like save up.
Yeah. So I might do something next month. We'll see. Like I have a pro ticket to NYCC, but I don't want to go back to New York.
Yeah, those hotels are rough.
Yeah.
I got a hotel. It's only got one bed in it. It's like less than $800 for like a 3-night weekend, but like it's a crappy hotel. It's pretty close to the convention center. But I just don't like New York. Like, and honestly, like I didn't really have a great time the last time I went. My dog died like right after I got back. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I really
personal problems, Sarah.
I know, it's so personal. But yeah, but anyway, I mean, like really, like the only thing I'm really super focused on and definitely happening is Ice and Fire Con.
Yay, Ice and Fire Con!
I want to come back.
I know.
You need to come.
We're not expensive.
And it's so much
cheap.
easier
You just gotta get there.
Yeah, it's so much easier to get there now though. Like it's still kind of far-ish from the airport in Columbus, but it's not like
it's not impossible.
There's enough people that offer rides and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially, it's so much bigger than it used to be. Like it used to be like, oh, there's 2 people that'll have room in their cars from the Columbus airport. Now it's like everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, everyone's flying in, so.
But it's always a PTO thing. So, all right. So I think that's it, you guys. We're like under 2 hours. I might not have to.
No one's passed out online this time.
Yeah.
I might not have to download the video and like separate the audio and then change the file size. Legit, the one from the pre-con one, I had to change the file size like 6 times before I was able to get it
Whoa.
to upload as a podcast.
Thanks, Google Hangouts.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't even Google Hangouts. It's just YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just it's the link.
I actually no. This is StreamYard. I actually like. I will say
it's the length, y'all. Length is important.
Okay.
And on
that note, DragonCon 2019. We had a good time. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. We did. All right. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys back before DragonCon 2020.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to Tara Lynn's A Geek Saga podcast. If you like what you heard, please check out my website, ageeksaga.com, or consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/ageeksaga.